Hello everyone, my name is Elma and I work for the NGO Youth Power Sweden. In today's webinar, we will be talking about our educational program called Digitalization of Youth Work. This program was developed within the project Digital Transformation of Inclusive Youth Work, which was a project funded within the Erasmus Plus program. Mirza and Riyad, our two colleagues that want to implement this educational program, would like to know more about practical implementation of it. And me and my colleague Armin will go through some details of each training session with them. So to summarize, this education program has 4 training sessions, and each training session lasts for approximately 19 minutes, depending on your participants' group size. What is specific for this educational program and all of the other educational programs developed within this project is that they are all written in a way that youth workers and trainers can implement them in an on-site setting as well as in an online environment, for example, over some Zoom or other platform. And since Mirsad here is one of the trainers that wants to implement this program, he will be asking some questions to get a better understanding of the first 2 training sessions.
Hello everyone. My first question is a 4-part question. Can you explain the main objectives of the training session, the necessary requirements for it, the step-by-step implementation process, and can you provide us with any advice or suggestions, especially for the online implementation?
Yes, so the first session is called Understanding Digitalization. The main aim of this session is for participants to understand what the concept of digitalization actually means in practice, and for them to understand some basic foundation of it. This session has 4 main activities. Each activity lasts for approximately 25 to 15 minutes. First activity is called Digital Transformation Timeline. Within this activity, participants are divided into small groups, and they will be given a set of digitalization milestones. They will arrange these on a timeline, either on a flip chart or a digital whiteboard if you are implementing this training online. And arranging these on a timeline will help participants to visualize the evolution of digital technology. So this is a simple but effective way to show the fast pace of digital transformation and how it has impacted society. The next activity is called World Café Discussion, and the space will be set up with several tables in an on-site training or with the several breakout rooms in an online training. And each of these tables or rooms will be focusing on a different aspect of digitalization, such as for example, one room will be for the economy, the other table will be for privacy, the other one for social life, or the impact of digitalization on social life. So participants will be rotating between these tables every 5 minutes. So each participant can contribute to the discussion of different topics. Participants in an online training, participants can collaborate on shared digital documents or use the digital whiteboards like Mural or Jamboard. Third activity is called Debate on Digital Ethics. Participants are divided into 2 groups for a debate on digital ethics topic. For example, one of the topics can be if the governments should have access to personal data for the purpose of national security. And finally, the 4th activity is called Reflection and Feedback. The main aim of this activity is to gather participants' insights on their learning experience. So during these last 15 minutes, participants will complete a quick feedback survey which can be done through Google Forms or some other online platform. Now for the specific question and this will be related to each of the following sessions. For those implementing this session and all of the other sessions in virtual environment, there are a few key things to keep in mind. You have to use a video conferencing software that supports breakout rooms and screen sharing. So for example, those would be Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet. And these platforms will allow you to keep group discussions interactive. You have to use other softwares like digital whiteboards, and those would be, for example, Mural or Jamboard, or some kind of other collaborative tool, like, for example, Canva also has a digital whiteboard. Online tools like Kahoot, Mentimeter, or quizzes can help you run quizzes, polls, and challenges. And that would add an extra layer of engagement for participants. Trainers have to make sure to clearly explain all the rules and the structure for the online debates and discussions. And finally, you have to send participants instructions or tutorials on how to use certain online and digital tools if they are not familiar with them.